and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we are jumping down into the world of Vechain, taking a look at what's been going on with the price action and what we think might be on the horizon next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? Tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you have not yet joined us on Discord, you're missing a trick. Linked in the description down below. Go ahead, check it out. It's completely free, and it is the first place we go to notify everyone of what is going on here in the crypto space. Okay, let's get right down into this. Vechain paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. And you know what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this white area here. This is basically a 5-wave structure to the downside. I just want to do a couple of sense checks here because things did change a little bit deeper than we were expecting them to originally, right? So we had this scoped out about 1.832 to 1.843, and I just want to do a couple of sense checks to see whether or not we did overextend out or we came right in there just a little bit lower than expected. So the targets change if the higher that wave 4 goes, the lower that wave 5 should go. And here you can see that we did just overextend it ever so slightly, a little bit deeper than expected there. So the actual targets on that move would have been 1.822 to 1.839, and we just came down a little bit lower here, which did come in on a low of 1.816. Okay, we rallied on up and we found resistance right up here towards our 1.936. You can see that there, and then we start to fall down. Now this move to the downside is quite important, because it does mean that we have 5 waves starting, we go up, then we're looking for 5 waves to come down, and a minimum expectation of a zigzag pattern. Essentially, all of where we are is anything lower than this area of 1.862 is, in my opinion, a really good value. But I do think we have much deeper to come, so we'll see and keep an eye on that. So what we want to do is we want to reflect, are we going to be going down in 5 waves? Are we just going to be going down in a zigzag pattern? So we start with this kind of micro 5-wave count, and over this side here, we also have a 5-wave count. We can go 1, 2, and I think we are still in the wave 3 area of this, and I think we've got to have a bounce and then we've got to come down. Okay, so it's still possible that maybe that's the wave 4. And it is possible that that's the wave 4. I just think it'd be neater if we come down a little bit deeper here. So I think I'm going to leave it as in wave 3 has not yet completed, and I would estimate that wave 3 would complete really, really soon. In fact, I think we are right in that little sweet spot there. So I'm expecting us to kind of come down into this little wave 3, anywhere between 1.815 through to about 1.824. So I think that's going to be the little area just there. You can see that we're touching into this yellow box now. So this is an area that we might start to see a bit of a bounce to the upside on Vechain. Okay, now the importance of this is that if we do complete 5 waves down here, then we have a zigzag bear minimum. Now, if we want to see this thing come down deeper, which we might do, we might not, I don't know, it depends on where you sit on this one, we will have to be looking at 1.706, and I do think that's a bit of a stretch target. So considering how this is structured out at the moment, I wouldn't expect us to come down to 1.706. So I am thinking just a zigzag pattern, and a zigzag pattern here, if I actually go ahead and change this over into white so we keep everything aligned, and then what I'll do as well, let's just change this into, I think it's this one. So we have these kind of 2 white 5-wave structures. Now, if I grab a 3-wave structure, it's A, B, and C, and you can kind of see how that kind of plays out. So I'm just expecting a little bit deeper here, nothing too much. Now, our 1-to-1 ratio on the ABC side of things, that would put us at approximately 1.791. So I'm going to give that a bit of a label, and that might be where we actually end up here, completing our final 5th wave movement of this C wave. Okay, and I do think that's something that we should be expecting here for this one. So I'm just going to put a little price label there, remove that, and I might as well put a little horizontal line just on here as well, and I'll make that yellow just so we can see it a little bit clearer. Okay, so now we have this kind of structure kind of playing out. We can kind of see that we came down in 5 waves, we bounced here, we moved up into the B wave, we're coming down in 5, and it's basically a, if I just write this out here, 5, 3, 5, also known as a zig and zag pattern. Okay, so a zigzag pattern basically is 5 down, 3 up, 5 down, or technically speaking, actually, a zigzag pattern would be 5 up, 3 down, 5 up, and an inverse zigzag would be, you know, 5 down, 3 up, 5 down, but I just call them zigzags, or 5-3-5s or ABCs. They're all the same thing. You can kind of get your head kind of screwed up if you just keep all these different kind of names in your head on all the time. But for the most part, I'm expecting some pretty interesting kind of movements to the downside here overall, but we are right in the sweet spot. Okay, so coming back down into this yellow box area, as I said, anything lower than 1.862 is pretty good value in my opinion. Now, as we can see here, we're oversold on the daily, the 8-hour, the 4-hour, but not yet on this hourly chart. So do expect some fluctuations and some movements around. Now, I just want to jump over into our weekly. We can see they're starting to peak up a little bit. Definitely seems like a nice swing trade opportunity somewhere around here. And since this would be marking an end of structure, 1.791 might be a really good entry on such a thing. Essentially, I'm just expecting maybe another move to the upside. So this could just be that we are in full swing here to a slightly bigger move to the upside on Vechain before we continue to break on down. I think this is a pit stop to a much bigger move. As you can kind of see this high point, this is just going to be our B wave movement. I wouldn't be too surprised if actually what happens here is we do something like this and we come into those deeper values at a slightly later date. Time in the market's incredibly difficult, but do be aware that essentially I do think that there's a structure here that's coming to an end. We have the momentum behind the price moving upwards quite significantly. So do expect the price to kind of fall back just a fraction and then surge up out of nowhere, kind of coming into this 3-wave movement. This 3-wave movement, of course, would be a B-wave movement of a larger platform. So yeah, once this completes, I do expect a big crash once again in the market. And I don't think this is too different to what I would expect with a few other cryptocurrencies as well. We see Cardano's ADA also primed quite nicely for a bit of a move to the upside. So Vechain's right alongside that. I do think it's got some pretty good potential to kind of, you know, move up a pretty reasonable amount. If we do come down to this low area, I wouldn't be thinking a good 12, maybe even 15% movement to the upside. With leverage, you can multiply that quite a bit as well. I'm going to leave this video right there, guys. It's a brief TA explanation of what I think is going on with Vechain. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.